by using discount code USA.
Have you ever noticed? It's time for Farm and Ranch Headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting.
For generations, we've worked the land. We've faced hardships and uncertainty before, but you can depend on Florida's farmers. We will continue to rise before dawn and harvest our crops, ensuring that Florida-grown fruits and vegetables are in your stores and that your family is fed. We are providers for our families and yours. We're Florida's farmers, and we're in this together.
You're going to need me.
You're going to need us.
All of us.
You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. Support us at 4h.org.
Peanut Stocks and Processing has released more information about the peanut market and how we're moving for the month of October. They said that during the month of October, peanut candy usage has been up 37% for that 1 month over last year. Unbelievable. Another good month for peanut usage overall. It was up 3.1%. The candy manufacturers are betting on a good holiday season with that usage of up 37%. Snacks peanuts were also positive for the month, up 7.8% for October. Peanut butter slowed down after record usage in the last 3 months, down 4% for October. The big news for the continued growth in the peanut industry and peanut butter sector, above all, it is up 6.8% for the first 3 months. Stocks are also down 15% overall, and shelled peanut stocks are down 20%. Shellers and buying points have been busy loading up the warehouse for 2021, and most analysts agree that the total U.S. production will be less than that 3.3 million tons that USDA predicted, probably going to be about 3.15 million tons, and that'll be a plenty of peanuts for next year. I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a shower in the area early. Otherwise, clouds giving way to some sunshine today with a high of 67 to 73. Partly cloudy and chilly tonight, low 41 to 47. Then Tuesday and Wednesday both will have plenty of sunshine, but cool. High on Tuesday, 60 to 63. High on Wednesday, 62 to 65. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Hi, my name is Tuxon. Is your junk getting in your way? Are you having trouble walking around your junk? Find out how we can remove your junk by listening in on Monday, December 7th at 8:35 a.m. right here on WOCA, The Source. And find out how Q&Q Removal can remove your junk. It might sound hard to you, but we do the heavy lifting for you at Q&Q Removal. Again, that's December 7th at 8:35 a.m. right here on WOCA.
Get inspired to take your next vacation close to home and experience Miami Beach. A paradise getaway only a drive away. Take in 7 miles of beautiful beach. Walk historic South Beach. Take in the art and culture. Stroll famous Lincoln Road and taste the international cuisine found in a city that offers a faraway feeling without the flight. Visit Miami Beach, a paradise getaway only a drive away. Learn more at Experience Miami Beach on Facebook and Instagram. This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt. You just heard Joe talk about Miami Beach. Well, you need to relax, and it's only a drive away. We're talking about Miami Beach, Florida. Yes, that Miami Beach, with its 7 miles of beaches, its international cuisine, its art and culture. That's right, and you could win a hotel stay in Miami Beach and a tank full of gas. But you can only win if you call in and give us your name and phone number. Just call us 352-732-8000. That's 352-732-8000. Leave us your name and phone number, and you'll be registered for Paradise, only a drive away, a hotel stay in Miami Beach and a tank full of gas from your friends here at WOCA, The Source. Now let's go out to a friend of mine who I talk to every day of the week at this time. Brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Rehabilitative Health and Rehabilitation Center. Galen Unall joins us. Galen, good morning.
Hey, what's going on this morning, Tom? How are you?
You know, it's a little overcast. Another front moving through. It's going to cool off again, something that you and I, neither one, enjoy. It's going to get a little chilly.
Yeah, it is. It's the wet cold, too. It's just terrible.
So
terrible.
It is. It's a wet cold. It's terrible. So, you know, Fridays are the days that I choose to join some important people here in the city of Ocala and play a little golf game with a group of about 30, 32 guys every Friday afternoon about 12:30, 1 o'clock. Shot the 79 on Friday there, Galen.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Hey, that's not bad. Ball always carries a little bit further this time of the year.
40 on the front, 39 on the back at Munich.
Yeah. This is the time to go low. This is the time of the year you can go low because your game's in good shape, unlike the spring.
And
game's not in good shape.
And with Muni right now, with the cold snap, the hard freeze that happened last week, all the Bermuda went dormant. So now it's like when you hit the fairway, if you got the ball rolling, it'll go forever.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, it's greens, and they always take care of the greens out there. So, good time to go low.
Good, and I did Friday. Now Friday we also had a controversial situation. Not so much football-wise, but radio broadcast-wise. And I went and met with my buddies that I play golf with on Fridays. One of them said, you got after George pretty good there on the radio this morning. I go, well, you know, if the FHSAA had let us do the game on the radio, there'd have been no reason for me to get after Mr. Tomlin so hard. But a lot of feedback on people who thought it was ridiculous that the playoff game, some people said, and you would know this better than I because I haven't lived here all my life, some people said that it was without a doubt the most important football game since Dante Culpepper played football at Vanguard, and for it not to be on the radio was just a travesty. And I'm using words that I can say on the radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, I've covered most of them. You know, I've had this discussion with a lot of people since then, and I think you're right. I think it's the most important football game in Marion County since that 1994 game with Dante against Buchholz with Doug Johnson. Because back then only one team from the district made the playoffs, and both teams came in undefeated. Whoever won that game, everybody felt had a real good chance of making a long, deep run into the state finals and into the state championship game. Vanguard was a better game. It was at home, and they won. But, you know, Friday night was electric. You know, it's always good to see when you're standing up top of Booster Stadium on the home side, and you turn around and you look at the parking lot, and it's 20 minutes after kickoff, and there are cars still pouring in. So, you know, there was a good crowd there. Not as big as they could have. Definitely not as big as, you know, the Buchholz game or some of the games since then, but great game. Great low-scoring game. 13-10 was the final, and Dunellen pulled it out, and it was fun to watch. It was a lot of fun to watch. It had everything you wanted as far as drama.
Now, what happens now? Price Harris and his kids go on the road to Tallahassee. Is that where they're playing at now? Union
County. I think I don't think they're playing the next two games. They have to win two games to become the state championship. So they're going to play Baker County. I'm sorry, not Union County. Baker County next week, and that will decide who goes to Tallahassee.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't the final eight. I thought this was the final eight. Now they're in the final eight.
Regional finals. Yeah, that's correct.
Now they're in the final eight.
Final eight. And Trent Townsend, the quarterback for Dunellen, hurt his leg. Don't know if it was the knee or the ankle or the calf. It was somewhere in the leg and in the lower leg. And the kid is just tough as nails. He gutted it out. Scored the game-winning touchdown on a little QB sneak. He's got to be right for them to be good. And I said this going in Friday. Vanguard's a more talented team. But I think Dunellen's a more disciplined team. I think Dunellen, they won the coaching battle. I don't think that's a surprise at all. Vanguard could not score in the second half. They missed a field goal. A couple of 4th and 1 situations again that really, really exposed, the decision making. And it was all set up on this next to last time Vanguard had the football. They had back-to-back plays where they had to call a timeout because they couldn't get the personnel on the field. And that's the kind of thing that has always been a bugaboo for this Vanguard team. They're 0-5 in the regional finals, and this game exposed all of their weaknesses. And the sad thing is, it's not a lack of talent, but there is some coaching maturity that's got to take place.
I've always said, and don't get me wrong, Edwin Farmer, the head coach at Vanguard, great guy, great defensive mind. He's a very good coach. I just think that he because of, and it's not, lack of discipline where kids are just out not listening to the adults and they're out doing their own thing and just wild or anything, but it's a lack of discipline. It always seems to be like you can't get enough people on the field, or there's a false start penalty, or the defense jumps offside, and all those are being disciplined. Those are discipline issues, but not in the realm of where the kids are just out of control wild. But still, in a game as important as this, and a game as close as this, that one penalty or that one timeout, that sometimes can be the difference in a football game.
Yeah, I will tell you this: Vanguard played really disciplined football. They had no personal fouls. They were smart. It was the coaching. When you make a formation change and the kids are going, what? That's on the coaching staff, and that's on the staff. That's a shared responsibility. Everything stops with the head coach, Coach Farmer, but they came in, they wanted to run the football. They couldn't really throw very well. But the story of the game was L.J. Fitzpatrick, the junior, was the best player on the field the entire night. And he put his stamp on that game. Rucker they couldn't get him the ball enough. And L.J. played out of his mind. So, they deserve to win. Dunellen deserved to win that football game.
Congratulations to a great season by the Vanguard Knights. And, excuse me, here's to hoping that Price Harris and his coaching staff can take his kids to Baker County, McClenny, come out with a win there and qualify for the state finals.
Baker County is a stadium I've never played in. I've played in or called a game in. I have called a game with Baker County in it. Their fans are passionate. It's their whole world, that and a prison. It's going to be really, really a great atmosphere because they got to go on the road to Baker County.
Let me tell you.
So I'm pretty excited.
Baker County's right next to Nassau and Duval County. I know Baker County well.
It's more like Orange Park.
Well, no, yeah, well, McClenny, where the state hospital was, the state mental hospital was for years. Everybody used to say, "Don't mess with me, boy. I'll send you to McClenny." But McClenny is about 25 miles from where I grew up. You know who's a famous country star that's mom lives in Baker County and he's from that area?
No.
Tim McGraw.
Well, there you go. All right. He's doing all right with himself.
He's doing okay. I think he's done okay. I think that baseball thing he gave up in 1979 to chase his country music dreams, I think it worked out for him.
It seems to. We'll see. We'll see what the final tally is.
The son of reliever Tug McGraw. People don't know that. Hey, let's take a break real quick, Galen, before we come back to you. We want to give the people at Palm Garden and Penn Flooring a lot of thanks for helping out with the show. We'll be right back after this timeout when you hear from the good folks from Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center.
I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Christmas in 2020 sure looks different than it has in years past.
I'm Crystal, and it's fair to say this year has been like no other for the healthcare and the whole community.
We want to thank our frontline staff who continue to care for our residents every day.
And thanks to the family members who have been unable to visit for so long.
We wish each and every one of you a blessed holiday season. Merry Christmas from Palm Garden.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Monday morning, a cloudy, overcast, dreary, rainy Monday morning here in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. I want to thank Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. Penn Flooring owes every bit of their success to their unrivaled customer service. They're a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solution of your flooring needs and having experience in both commercial and residential fields. Go check out their amazing showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or call 352-351-3420. We also want to thank our good friends at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions about Palm Gardens or how they're handling COVID-19, give them a call, 352-854-6262. That's 352-854-6262. Let's go back out to the phone lines and talk to Galen Unall, who is brought to you every day by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden. Galen, you're a Navy veteran. You were in the Navy, just like Joe Martone was. Yeah. About 4.5 hours from now. Well, yeah, about 4.5 hours from now, it'll be about 10 till 1 Eastern time. Mm-hmm. Be about 10 till 8 Honolulu time. 79 years ago, a day that will live in infamy. Now, being a Navy guy, what is when this day comes around when you were in the Navy, does the Navy, is this something that all active duty guys, when you're on your duty station, are you aware of this day and the meaning of it?
Absolutely. It's the darkest day in our Navy's history. And I've been to Pearl Harbor. I had been to Pearl Harbor before I was in the Navy with the family. Then we took part when we came back from San Diego and we cleaned up ash. We went to Pearl Harbor, and we're one of the special ships that got an opportunity to sail by, the battleship row on the oil there. And, when you're dressed whites, you're in full dress, and we have flags, and we're full rigged, and it was the most somber event I've ever been a part of. It's hard to explain because as a sailor, you're driving around, you're driving over a ship, and you realize those are my shipmates that are down there. I will never, ever forget it. I'm standing right next to a Master Chief who's been in the Navy for over 30-plus years, and he could barely stand up because of the emotion. So it's not something I will ever forget. And this is a day that we should never forget because, there's a lot of talk that we were caught off guard. It's not that we were caught off guard. We were just still at peace, right? And anytime you watch the movie Pearl Harbor, the original, not the one with Ben Affleck, you really get a good sense of what happened. And it's something I've studied, and it breaks my heart every time this day comes by.
If you want to see a movie that is as historically accurate as it can be about this day, Tora, Tora, Tora is a very good movie to watch that explains in very, very good detail and historically accurate what the goings on of that day. And, people forget Hitler, who was the maniac that was in Germany that was exterminating just human beings at an alarming rate. He was angry with Japan because he had an agreement with Japan that, to let Japan do what they want to do and they would help Germany. And Hitler was like, why would you wake the sleeping giant? Because America was, even though they had the Lend-Lease going on where they were they were giving old ships and stuff to England and everything, America really was at the time a nationalistic area that didn't want anything to do with the war. Roosevelt wanted in the war bad, but the American people wanted nothing to do with the war until that fateful morning of December 7th. And then within 18 months of that attack, not only did America enter the war, but they changed the tide of the war and went in 18 months from nothing to producing tanks, airplanes, and building a Pentagon at the speed and rate of which has never been seen before or again in this country.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that was the impetus because it was such a rallying cry. I will say one thing. Japan got backed into a corner. They really felt that as they kept taking over this land, they took over basically half of China, almost all of Asia. They were moving into Australia. They would have taken Australia pretty quickly. They just ran out of oil. And the oil embargo, and they had no access to oil, none, because Germany had moved into the Middle East to tap into those oil reserves that were unyet claimed, but everybody knew they were there. And it left Japan going, hey, we can't run this. You're choking us off. And so they felt their only recourse was to attack the United States. And that changed the history of the world.
It did change the history of the world. 4 years later, it ended an atrocity that I hope we never see again on the face of this earth. It's one of those seminal moments, like, it's happened twice in our history, although some people will say the John F. Kennedy assassination, but an outright attack on the American people, December 7th, 1941, and September 11th, 2001, 60 years apart.
Right. And I think what the sole difference is one were military personnel and one were civilians.
That was the sole difference.
And that's a significant difference. One was a terrorist act. One was performed by a country where we had a clear enemy. And 9/11, and I think because we didn't have a clear enemy and we didn't really attack the people who attacked us in the long run, and I think that's why it's so muddy over there in the Middle East to this day, even though it's better now than it probably was, ever since Saddam invaded Kuwait. But again, it's just a seminal moment, and I hope people don't forget what happened on this day ever, because it was, again, it's a huge part of my life after being a part of and serving in the Navy. It's such a big moment of my life. It's nothing I will ever forget.
Well, let's take a phone call real quick, Galen. Somebody wants to talk with us. Okay, let's take a phone call. Hi, caller. Who's this? Well, they didn't want to take a phone call. They hung up right as I answered.
Yeah, sure. And again, we did drop 2 atomic bombs on Japan. I've been to Hiroshima. We could debate the merits of that for the rest of our lives. But
hey,
I feel it was something we had to do.
We got the caller back. Hi, caller. Who's this?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Galen White McCoy.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Galen, I completely 100% agree with you about the when you pass by the Arizona in Pearl Harbor, you pass over any of the areas over there that you can just feel the, I don't know, it's like a presence, right?
Yeah.
And you cannot ignore it. It absolutely just comes into your soul. And like you were saying about that Master Chief or Chief that was just brought to tears, basically. It does. It actually it bores into your soul when you feel that you can just almost hear and feel and smell the chaos of that day. And unless you've experienced that, it's very difficult to explain it to anyone.
Mike, thanks. Mike, thanks.
Tom, reading, if you want to really hear another story, there was another genocide that took place during World War II. I don't know if you're
in Russia. In Russia.
You ever heard of? There's a book, and you should read it. It's called The Rape of Nanjing, and it's the atrocities that exactly the same thing in a different and more brutal manner. I don't know if there could be a more brutal manner that the Germans were doing to the people as the Japanese were doing to the Chinese people. But if you look at that book, it's called The Rape of Nanjing. But anyway, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
appreciate
Mike.
y'all. Have a great day.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, people want to do the atrocities of Germany. They want to do the atrocities of Russia. The Japanese were very, very just brutal in the atrocities they did on all the people of the Asian area, the Asian theater. Yeah. It was not good. It was not good at all.
No, I lived in the Philippines when I was in the Navy, and I visited a Japanese torture camp. They called it a war camp, and it's just where they had the local Philippine people as nothing more than slaves, and they just the brutal atrocities that happened there. It was horrific, and the same with China. They did the same thing in China, and when you look at that, you just realize that the baseness of man. It questions it. And again, I think it's relevant. I mean, 15 years later, they were finding, Japanese soldiers who were still on these small islands, thinking the war was
that were ready
on.
to fight. Yeah, ready to fight.
Yeah.
Hey, so it's just it's a day that we need to remember. I'm going to do more on it today. I got something worked up for it later today. Hey, Galen, I saw the Bloodmobile at Saturday at Harley Ownership Group's toy drive and giveaway at Harley. Where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, today we're going to be at the Lowe's out on on 40, and we'll also be out at the Walmart at Summerfield. So come by and see us. Get the live donate blood. Also right there on the boulevard. LifeSouth.org has all your information.
Galen, as always, look forward to talking to you. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, be good. Thank you, Tom.
See ya. Galen Unall from Life South, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Rehabilitation Center. Coming up next, Sonda Eunice in the building. We'll get going with that as we do every Monday right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
Georgia's Senate race debates took place Sunday night. Dr. Martin Luther King's niece, Alveda King, on Fox, says Democrats are playing the race card, and that's dangerous.
John Ossoff, Raphael Warnock are adept at teaching fear, anger, stirring up bitterness. It's called playing the race card. So stirring up emotions and fear is very dangerous. But giving solutions, Ginger Howard and I, in our book, We're Not Colorblind, teach people how to do that.
The runoff election is Tuesday, January 5th. Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom's mandatory lockdown measures has shut down 85% of the Golden State's population.
The metrics used for closures are unbelievably faulty and are not representative of true numbers and are disastrous for Riverside County. When the medical field is so split about this virus, it might be time to employ a little common sense.
Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco, USA Radio News.
It's not over. Sadly, our nation is going through tough times again, with no end in sight, and nobody knows what might happen next year. That's why it's a good idea to plan ahead, so you aren't caught off guard. Nothing's more important than having enough food to eat, and we're here to help. We're My Patriot Supply, America's leading emergency preparedness company. We provide long-term emergency food that lasts up to 25 years in storage. When grocery stores run empty or disasters strike, our foods will be there when you need it most. Act now and secure at least a 4-week emergency food kit full of tasty meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. We have dozens of emergency food storage kits to choose from. When the government tells you not to go out, you can